Instituto de Administración Pública del Estado de México. Y APEN TV, una ventana a la administración pública mexiquense.
IAPEM. It's Institute of Public Administration of the State of Mexico. And the students here are the ones who have the best degree in each field. We have Paul. Yeah. He's currently studying communications. Rodrigo Andres, over there. And he's studying health science. And Uriel, and he's studying sociology. And Karen, and she's also studying sociology. And we also thank you for being here. And I think Arno, who's going to be the first.
Don DT, you usually start. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Who is going to start?
It's me. So, what should I tell you?
Well, you can tell us about what do you do in ABM?
Okay. First. Well, I'm Peter. I'm from Germany, and I'm located in Mainz, which is a town nearby Frankfurt. The application there is mainly for post-support people, which means as soon as a client has a problem, he will call us and we try to fix the problem remotely. And inside of this location, there's a technical training center, which I'm part of. So I'm dedicated at technical training, and therefore I'm responsible for any kind of new learning media, just like e-learning, distance learning, and all this stuff. That's basically what I'm doing. I started at IBM in 19, and the first 2 years I've worked as a technician for electronic devices, for electronic measurement devices. In Mainz, we were used to build the heads of the hard disks, and for that, there was a thing that's a wafer, and this wafer needed to be measured for thickness and so on. So I was working there for 2 years, and then I switched to post-sale support, which means I was responsible for debugging and data analysis on an operating system, which I guess no one of you still knows, which is OS2, which was an operating system from IBM for personal computers. And so I did a lot of debugging stuff and data analysis on bytes and big spaces. And after that, after 2 years, I've went to the same institution, but concentrating on Microsoft stuff. So I did basically the same thing on the Microsoft side, doing data analysis, debugging. And since 7 years now, I'm working for the Technical Training Center, which our clients are mainly internal clients, which means our field technicians who goes on site to the customer if in case the hardware has a problem. So we teach them the use of hardware.
And okay, so you've been there for over
almost 25 years. Next year is 25 years.
And is it what you expected at the first time you?
No, never. Basically, all of the opposite direction, but I'm really happy to be dedicated now on this e-learning stuff and all these things because the world is changing and we can't deliver every single course in a physical classroom. We have to think about alternative ways to deliver education. So I'm really happy to be in this or to be part of this training center. Yeah.
And do you elaborate that learning center or teaching center, and depending of the only in German or around the world?
We basically have internal clients from Europe, but also sometimes from Asia. So all the education is in English.
Okay, and so it's a different way of teaching other person from other societies, or
yeah, sure. You have to take account of the different cultures, of course. Yeah. So yeah.
And how do you manage to figure out the perfect role, the right way?
Well, there's a lot of your personal experience, but also our teachers or instructors, if they are new and just joining us, they have a so-called cultural diversity workshop where they will be taught about the different cultures.
Any advice you can give us to be where you are, or that leads you to the place you are now?
Any advice?
Advice, yeah, any advice that someone gave you to be where you are right now, that's very important to you.
Well, it's important if you like to succeed in your career in IBM. It's general good to be open for everything, for every new technology, to have a look, a broader view of everything, to look over the rim of the teacup, I will say that. And at least if you like to continue with your career, to have a mentor who can help you in some questions and in your advancement of your personal career. So basically we have three pillars inside of IBM. No matter if you are going for a manager career or even a specialist career, the first pillar is the expertise, your expertise. So we have inside of IBM, we have roughly 250 different job roles inside of IBM. And the second pillar is capability. So every one of us belongs to a special capability. My capability was supporting IT solution. We have capabilities, IT architecture, or providing IT solution, and so on. There are different capabilities. And the last one, which is very important, is leadership. So we have inside of IBM 9 different leadership competencies. And if you like, or if you think to build up your career, at least you have to have something of all of these three pillars.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
¿Alguna pregunta? Tengan que hacer.
Okay. Well, Peter, I think you, well, as you said, you try to deliver education through different media. When you find countries like Mexico that sometimes infrastructure is not as good as in your countries, what challenges you find normally in those countries in order to provide education via remote?
Well, challenges, because I'm thinking a lot of distance education of e-learning process, but also a virtual classroom. So sometimes the IT infrastructure needs perhaps to be improved in some. I won't say it now Mexico, but for sure Peru, because I know Peru very well. So, but this could be a challenge to establish IT infrastructure which is capable of providing, let's say, distance learning education.
Well, Steve.
Okay, so I'm Steve. I'm from the UK and England specifically. I'm based in the south of England in an office that used to belong to one of our clients, but we now took it over. There's probably about 150 people in that office, and there's about, I think now, about 10,000 IBM people in the UK. I joined IBM in 2001, although I'd worked with IBM for 3 years before that. I used to be a director of another company before I joined IBM. My original career was in construction. My father was in IT, and I didn't want to do IT. I decided that I didn't, like everyone, I rebelled against my father. I went into construction, but ended up working for IBM, so I failed in my rebellion. In the construction industry, I was a commercial manager, so I worked for building contractors, making sure they made money on contracts. I then moved across with IBM doing much the same thing. I then became a project executive, which means you run an account with a client and you run it like a business. So you're responsible for the relationship with the client, for the profit and loss, the whole thing. I did that. I then took an internal role, managing a team of project managers. I then got the opportunity to go to India for 3 years and was based in India for 3 years, managing global delivery, so delivery from India into Europe, so all the European accounts at that time. And then I came back 2 years ago to the UK, and I run, for my part of the business, which is our infrastructure technology services business, I run business transformation across Europe. So I have a target to enable us to make $40 million more profit year on year through changing the business, which sounds a lot, but when you're in a business the size of IBM, it's not quite as daunting. Picking up on the question you asked about, you know, how you move around in a big company. One of the beauties of working for a company like IBM, and it's not just IBM, any really big company, is that you get loads of opportunities. There are lots of different jobs. There are disadvantages of working with big companies, but the advantage is the opportunities it throws up. I say IBM is like a cookie jar, and you can pick whichever cookie you want. But it's very easy. You can stay in IBM for 20 years, 25 years, and do exactly the same job. If that's what you want, that's fine. But if you go looking for the opportunities, and like Dieter said, look over the teacup, they are there. Every one of us is currently for a month in Mexico, and that's because we saw the opportunity and we applied for it and we got accepted. Now, I don't know about everyone else. My friends will say, oh, you're so lucky, but none of them even asked. So that would be my key thing. Look for the opportunities. They are there in one business, but in life in general. You have to go looking. They will never come and find you.
¿Qué tan enriquecedor es trasladarse, ¿no? O estar moviéndose dentro de una misma compañía en diferentes lugares? ¿Qué le deja, ¿no? ¿Qué es lo que representa para él culturalmente?
Okay, culturally speaking, what does traveling from in several countries represents to you?
I love traveling.
Porque no es un trabajo común, digamos.
Yeah, because it is not a common job. Well, at least for here.
No, sure. And I guess one of the things for Dieter and I, being in Europe, because the countries are all small, we travel from a very young age, and you know, we travel to countries where they speak a different language, where culturally we are very different, even in a very small area. So even when I was young, I travelled to different countries, so I was used to it. That said, when we moved to India, I moved with my family, and my children were 11 and 13, and they never left Europe, and they moved to India, so that was a very scary thing for them. My son was like, no, Dad, I don't want to go. 3 days after we arrived, he said, this is great, I love it. So, you know, it is hard, it is really challenging. And wherever you go, things are very different. But just be open to it, and you know, you can always go home. That's an option you've got, but you can't always go somewhere else. So I would take, and there are exceptions, but generally I would take every opportunity I could to travel, to experience new things. So, you know, I picked to come to Latin America on this experience because I'd never been to Latin America. So it was another new challenge, another new experience. But you have to be open to things being different. I say my experience in India was the very best experience of my life, but some days were terrible. Some of the experiences I was, this is why I had very little hair, and why it's so great. But you take it on, it's different challenges, so it's really good, really, really good.
Thank you, Kirsten. Steve, you talk also about opportunities. That is the key to have a brilliant career or something. Here in Mexico, having opportunities is really difficult, like job opportunities or studying. Could you give us another advice or another option to have job opportunities?
Wow. That's a difficult question to answer specific to you, because obviously my knowledge of Mexico isn't enough. I guess keep looking and keep trying is the thing I would say. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I was at school. I stumbled into my first job, really. I did a degree in a subject in quantity surveying, which I don't even think exists in Mexico. It's an English profession, but it's commercial management. And I went and did that, and I did well. You know, I did very well in my field. But when the opportunity came along to do something different, I took it, and different again, and I took it, and again, and the opportunity to move to IBM, I took it. And you know, I think my career several times has gone the wrong way, but there's always another opportunity to move it on. So I would just say, take whatever opportunity you get. If it's not what you were looking for, well, within reason, but if it isn't what you're looking for originally, there will be a way within that. You can still excel, you can still do your best, and then more opportunities will come along. Now, I know the situation in Mexico is very different to the UK. I know you have different challenges, but I would have thought that advice is good anywhere in the world. But always look for the other opportunities. Don't put your head down. Don't get stuck. Don't think that's it. If you go and do this, go and do that. I know a company that will only employ people who've had 2 completely different careers, because they say doing that is the best preparation to go and work for them. So I'm a project manager within IBM, that's my job family, as Dieter was saying. But I don't believe anyone should be a project manager as their first career, because you need to go and do something else, learn a technical skill, learn a different skill, and then become a project manager. And I think most careers, an architect, you can't go and be a technical architect from college. You need to go and learn something else and then be a technical architect. So do whatever you do, excel at it, but keep looking. I would. And live life beyond work as well. That's really important. Don't get obsessed by work, because sometimes work does get dull and boring and it gets you down. So you need the things the other interests and the things that you do outside work to keep you going at those times.
I got one question. So you were working with in IBM with another companies, and you landed a couple of millions. How do you manage to complete that transaction, or to get to know the other person to help you to get their money? Yeah.
Trust. Trust is the most important thing. They need to trust you. And there are times when you have to resort to contracts, and you have to resort to, you said you do this and that, but if your client trusts you, they will come to you when they have challenges, they will come to you when they have problems, and they will look to you to help them, and therefore you need to trust them, and that trust generates more work, more opportunities, and then they will want your trust as well. So every situation is different, so I don't think there's one specific, but if I was to pull one thing out, it would be trust.
Okay, the same thing applies to the companies that need infrastructure.
Yeah, the same thing applies everywhere, to be honest. My job now is all internal focus. It's still about trust. You know, I have to go and convince someone in Germany to do something that maybe doesn't work for Germany because it's the best for our organisation in Europe. And they will only do that if they trust that I'm going to go to Norway and persuade them to do something that's better for Germany as well. And it's all about trust.
Yeah, I think it's a very difficult.
It's very difficult to earn trust, and it takes a long time to earn it and a very short time to lose it. So, but it is key. It is key in life, right? You have to earn the trust of people, and yeah, earn it. You have to be reliable. You have to deliver for other people. You have to think about what works for them. The other thing I always say with a client is think about your client as a person, not as an entity, and make them a hero. What makes them look good? What makes them stand out in front of their boss? Because if you can do that for them, they're going to keep coming back to you.
¿Alguien más? ¿Alguna pregunta, chicos? ¿Seguros?
¿Están seguros? Si necesitan apoyo,
nos dicen,
yo les puedo ayudar. ¿No? ¿No? ¿Seguros?
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kelly.
Okay. Hola, everybody. I'm Kelly. I come from Taiwan, and I worked for IBM for 15 years. Okay, from 1998. Okay. In the past years, I'm the client manager, service the transportation line and the telecom provider and the energy utility provider. Okay, and I also have been the cloud business development manager. Okay, from this year I am the business development manager of IBM Smarter City. Okay, IBM Smarter City include transportation, energy, safety. Of course, I include many city government service. Okay, so in the past years, I want to share with you 3 things I learned from IBM. Okay, the first one is embrace the change. Actually, I studied the psychology in the university, and then to change to be the business administration in my master. Okay, then when I go to IBM, it's an IT company, right? Okay, so my client is from the transportation, telecom, and the utility. Every 2 or 3 years, I will change, and I will change proactively. Okay, not by the company. I will raise hand and ask my boss to change the job for me. Okay, so now I want to say all the future experience give me the capability to perform the job, to open to develop the business for IBM in smarter city in this year. So I mean, every experience will be useful for your future. Okay, so the first one is embrace the change. Okay, the second one is embrace the challenge. Why I say we need to embrace the challenge? Actually, everybody in no matter IBM or your future company are very smart. Everybody will know which job will be difficult, which job will be easy. So if any time you have the chance to choose, just select the most difficult one. Yeah. Because every step you proceed, everybody know that's your effort. Okay, not the lucky. Okay, and nobody will challenge you because they can't perform better than you. Okay, so when you embrace the challenge, you will become more and more brave. Then the next time you face with another problem, you will feel, oh, so easy to solve. Okay, so it's a positive cycle for you. So if you have any, when you choose the career, I will encourage you to take the sales job first. Truly. In the future, I will also recommend my kids to be a sales first. And it should be the open door. The Coco from Coco. I know Coco is new. Nobody knows the people in the past in your company. Yeah, so it's a very, very good exercise. Okay. The third one I want to share is you need to be work-life balance. Okay, in the past 15 years, I was a sales. I was sales, yes. In the so much time, and you know, IBM is a company with high performance culture. Okay, so our attrition rate every year is close to 20%. It means every 5 years, total your colleague will be changed. Yeah. So what it means the target is very high. The market is very, very challenging. Okay. However, if you don't try to balance your work and life, you will burn out, and nobody wants you to do that. Nobody. Just remember, nobody should treat you well, except for your family, right? So just let your expectation to be set the lowest, but do the best you can do. Then you won't regret in the future anymore. Okay. So the third thing is what I learned from IBM. But the most important I want to share with you is always be hopeful, always be positive, because sometimes we will have up and down. We will face with the heavy rain. We will have face with the shadow. But just keep the faith that become your own sunshine. Bright up yourselves and others. Okay, that's what I want to share. Thank you. Okay.
So, I've never done sales, really. I did a bit of it. But Kelly's advice is good advice. The people who do really well in big companies are the ones that have done sales. So not necessarily as your first job, I don't necessarily agree with that. But sales is a great experience to learn how to develop.
Yes.
The market is challenging.
But I think the capability is owned by yourself.
Yeah.
No matter you go to any place, you have the capability. You don't need to worry about you don't have job, right? It's very, very important.
I think that's an issue here in Mexico because if you don't work if you don't work more than other people, you cannot be in a better position in your company. So, for example, if the right thing to do here is to work 8 hours, you have to work 12 or 14 hours to be in a very good place in your own company or in any company here. So I think it's very difficult to find here the balance between work and life. And
it's very different anywhere. It's very difficult in IBM. The only thing I would say is it's not about working longer, it's about working better. Yeah, but it's the same. Kelly said, we have a high performance culture. We're all rated against our peers every year, and 10% are pulled out at the top, another 20% at the next level, then a huge amount are lumped into the next level, and that's just average. None of us would be here if we were in the average level, because that's not where IBM wants you. You're all pushed to be in that top 30% every year. So yeah, it's hard. It is really hard. But that's why you have to do the other things, because otherwise it just gets you down. It gets too much, like Kelly said.
Kelly, you told us about having lower expectations to get to do more, to embrace the challenge. We have to have lower expectations. It can apply to all jobs or to all opportunities to have lower expectations.
Pardon, let me clarify. You mean when we just said low expectation?
Yeah.
But
from who? From who? Lower expectation from the people or for you?
Of course, for yourself, you should set high expectation.
Yeah.
But you should foresee maybe the things won't be proceed so smoothly. Okay, so the result, you need to give yourself a preparation in mind that maybe it would be tough and the outcome would be bad. However, if you have this kind of preparation, that anything better than that, you will feel, oh, how great it is, right? So you will think every day is better than yesterday. Yeah, so.
When it's lower expectations of other people, don't expect other people to make your career work for you.
Yes.
You have to make it work.
Yes. And in IBM, every career should be planned by yourself.
Yeah.
You should be responsible yourself. Yeah.
And you should, but you have to find a balance between that and working with other people.
Actually, I think the most important part is the work-life balance is to have two meanings. The one meaning is work and life. You should, for your personal, just like every day I will go to the gym and try to let my body very healthy. Yeah. And the second one, you should have a very, very good family relationship because they are the most important. Yes, you earn money just for them. You earn the reputation just for them, right? So yourself and your family are very important. And another one, the balance with others. Okay. Actually, for the IBM is a teaming organization, so all the relationship with others is very, very important. So just seek for the win-win situation. Win-win. Every time, just stand in his, just have the empathy to see what will another people think and what's his position for this thing. Then try to win-win. Otherwise, if always just you win, you won't have the next time. Right? Yeah, so for the work-life balance, I need to mention two, both for yourself, your family, and with your colleague.
I think in Mexico, like the scenario the things are very hard, but not impossible. I think that it's not the only country that the things are hard, but what do you think, or what do you say about the people who don't have to education? Do they could access to be successful like you?
You mean
Yeah, if, how do the people what do the people have to do to be successful like you? They don't have the means to get an education.
oh, you mean the education situation is not so good? Okay. I share my situation and then everybody can share theirs. Actually, after my university, because I don't have too much money, so I decided to study in my hometown and not going studying abroad. Okay, but during the past 15 years, okay, I try to catch up any kind of opportunity to improve myself. Just like IBM is very kind and let me study how to engage with the high executive, the president, okay, the chairman. So I take the course in the China European University, okay, it's in Shanghai. And another one is the European Management Institute in Singapore. Actually, once you want to improve yourself, you always have a chance. Just raise hand, just like this kind of assignment is another very, very important opportunity for me to collaborate with so many outstanding colleagues. Okay, so if you really want to improve yourself, you always can catch the opportunity. So don't worry about that. You will become better and better. Yeah.
I would like to add here, I mean, even if you do not have opportunities of college and university education, then also you have a very big tool open, that is internet. You can look forward for distance learning courses and online courses, e-learning, that will increase your knowledge. And if somebody is very unfortunate and he is not able to complete the college education, then also it is not directly linked with success. Education is not totally linked with success. There are many people who are not well educated, not from Stanford or Harvard, but they are really doing very well. One of that guy is Bill Gates. He's just 10 pass dropout from his college. And one of a very renowned Indian businessman, he was just 12th pass, and he had #1 business tycoon in India at one time. So if you have vision, if you have plan, if you have ideas, if you have innovation, then you can do it with some alternate ways as well. I mean, it's not very mandatory to have a college education. It is definitely very good to have. But if it is not there, people should not be demotivated about it.
But you guys all have them.
Yeah, you already have.
My name is Masachi from Japan, Tokyo. Let me do this. When I was at university, I majored in information engineering. I'm interested in relationship between human and this digital device. And so I researched about emerging human interface like this touch panel or physical interface. Graduation university. After graduating university, I worked at IBM and I've been working at IBM for 5 years as a consultant. My specialty is web technologies and designing human interface. So in Japan, I always design corporate websites or these mobile applications for Japanese clients like Toyota or such as Sony and so on. So today I share with you two important factors in my work life. First one is to think logically. For example, business circumstances and real user needs are very complicated. So it's important to categorize and arrange these scattered elements. Is very important, I think. So, for example, in my design work, for example, design the screen, icon, or buttons. This is also completely logical process, not sense, because considering users' eye direction, movement of the finger, I design the information, icon buttons. I always think where is the best position of the icon button for users. It's a very logical process. So all information and all parts have reasons why they are located there. I have so this is my work is for design, but this is logical process, not sense. This is first my input process. And second one is to do prototyping, try and error. Don't afraid to make an error. This is not a fault. So do prototype and make try and error. It's also important because it's impossible to make perfect stuff on a first attempt. So it's important to improve speed of try and error and the speed of cycle of try and error. It's important. So, like playing with clay. These two things are important for my work. And finally, I want to say same as Kelly. Enjoy everything. It's the most important, I think. So I always enjoy everything, even work, because every activity leads to my growth. So I feel no stress for even work. And in Mexico, I enjoy everything. Enjoy Mexican food and drink every day. And have a good sleep.
Mexican heart.
Yeah. I've tried heart of beef, heart of cow. So I got the Mexican heart. Challenge everything, enjoy everything. This is I'd like to say.
Well, I got one question. But I think that this question applies to all of you. How do you manage the failure of a project or the errors you commit in a project or your company with the pressure of your boss or the pressure of the company or the pressure of the ones who you have in charge? I don't know if anyone can answer or all of you. From your own perspective, of course.
Okay, I have to. Oh, you have made me in hot spot. Okay, it's it's basically to put more effort in that work. Suppose if I have committed a mistake first time and I got a feedback from my superior, okay, you have not done it correctly. So I'll spend more time learning that work so that I can perform better, and I'll actually put 100% or more than 100% in that work next time, and I'll try to avoid errors next time. So that's what I do. And the thing, I don't get emotional with what my superior says. If he says something negative to me, I'm okay with it. There could be some reasons, you know. So I need to look a positive out of that negative what had been said to me. So if I can improve and which can make me a better professional, I'll take that hit. So that's the way how I deal.
I think Masaki made the point as well on prototyping and said your cycle times have to be quick. And I think that works in life as well. So you can make mistakes, but recognise them quickly and move on. I think that's great advice.
About communication. As soon as you communicate with your partners, it's so important to communicate and to get the chance to change focus perhaps of the project, or even going in another direction. And another part is to get feedback. It's also very critical to get feedback from your partners, but for sure of your client as well, and of all of your stakeholders.
Okay. And Masaki, I think to find quickly the error or the thing that is not working, it takes experience, right? Or how do you see the problem more quickly? Or how do you know it's an error or something?
You make mistakes.
Yeah.
How to treat?
Yeah, I mean, if you see a mistake, how do you find a mistake more quickly? Or is it experience or
Focus on. Well, it's a difficult question.
I think with experience we get an idea of now we judge it fast with experience.
Well, and as Dita said, you seek the feedback. So you are open to the fact that it might not be perfect. You're looking for the issues, looking for the challenges.
And in the case of a boss, well, it's hard for the employee to tell the boss, well, I think you're doing the thing wrong because, you know. So, as a boss, how do you do that? You know, or as an employee, how do you provide feedback to
Well, a
the
good
boss
boss
or
will
the other
seek
way around?
a good boss will seek people that will challenge them. We've all worked for bosses who don't like being challenged. You have to judge your boss. But certainly my boss doesn't like people who just say yes. He likes the fact that I will challenge him and say, no, John, you're wrong. Well, I think he does. but no, you have to, you have to back yourself. And with clients as well. You know, clients don't want someone working for them. You don't earn trust by just saying yes, yes, yes. You have to be prepared to say to your client, you know what, you're wrong. You need to look at this because you need to do it differently. And you need to be right when you say that. But you do have to challenge me.
But even more difficult if you are the boss of an international team like we are. I said it earlier, culture differences.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful to tell somebody you didn't perform well. So.
Yeah, because for example, I do like I'm a cinematographer, I'm a producer of short films, but it's very hard. For example, if I buy a script or edit a script, but it's very hard to tell the person who is writing that has won several festivals, to tell him, well, in this line you're wrong because he has won a lot of things. So it's almost like, I don't know, it's very difficult to tell him or to get
Yeah,
him
but
the feedback.
you don't have to tell him he's wrong. You say, could it maybe be better if you did it like this? Or make it their idea. What do you think about? There are different ways. There are different ways of doing it. You know, I'm always at my happiest when I hear my boss tell his boss of his great idea when it was mine. You know, that's fine because my boss knows it was mine, and he will. You know, he will tell his other boss that I helped. But there's ways of dealing with that. Interestingly, in India, you have to be really direct. If someone in your team's done something not right, you say, me being British, I say, oh, well, and I do it all very carefully. But in India, you have to say, this is wrong, because otherwise they don't realise. They because of the culture, they think, oh, you know, he's saying it's okay, and so it's okay. You have to say, no, this is wrong. And yeah, it's different around the world. I found that really hard in India. Everyone thought they were doing a great job. And I was thinking, but I told him it needed improvement.
But if you say that to your boss and making your idea his own idea, your boss is going to get the recognition and he's going to get a better job at it.
Yeah, take it with him. There's lots of ways of doing it. There's lots of ways of doing it.
Guys, I've got a question here. He would like to know if there are equal opportunities for men and women in IBM. I mean, are women and men able to reach high profile positions?
Women should answer that.
That's a question for you.
Well,
Okay. Actually, I must say IBM is a very real gender balance company. Actually, sometimes we need to say it's a real fair company, no matter to man, to woman, no matter your which country you come from or what's your religion. Actually, every time there is a vacancy come out, and the first question would be, is there any woman which is suitable for this position? Okay, so just like in Taiwan, okay, Taiwan, our employee percentage in Taiwan is 30% woman and 70% man. Okay, so the manager level is 30% woman, 70% men. Yeah, so actually I direct report to the country GM for 4 years. Okay, so our board is quite gender balanced. Okay, so we also provide a lot of flexible working mechanism for women. Just like sometimes when you are really pregnant or something, you can have working at home, or you can have the work shared with another people. Okay, of course for sales it's impossible, but for another kind of job category, you can share with another person. Yeah. Okay, so that's my situation in Taiwan. And Jenna?
Yes, she has almost covered. IBM is very, it's not all biased with gender. It will give you equal opportunities if you will perform good. So it doesn't matter whether you are a male or a female. So it's totally on your merit basis. If you're performing good, if you have skills, if you have proper vision, then you'll be promoted definitely, and they have spaces for women. And I'll just give you an example. I'm from IBM India, and our country head is a woman, and entire IBM country head is also a woman. Yeah. So they are not biased. Like they won't get such higher positions to women. Yes, there are not like very too many women at the top, because women are, at least in India, they are not too many in numbers itself. So that's why the percentage is low. But it has nothing to do with the with the gender biasing.
Our chief exec is,
Yes, is a woman.
so yeah.
And the same is true for Germany.
Yeah.
India, Germany, Taiwan, and overall IBM.
No, it's a very good company to work for,
Yes.
I would say.
Well, unfortunately,
Sorry?
your turn.
Oh. Yes. Okay. 2 minutes? Okay. I'm Rachna and I am from India. I live near Delhi and I work from an NCR IBM office. I started my career in 2005, October. I joined as a fresh graduate hire. So at that time I was very, very enthusiastic about being in a company like IBM. And I did my master's in computer science. That's how I got recruited from my campus to IBM. And when I joined IBM, I was really fresh out of college, so I had a goal to learn more and more. And actually, that had happened. In terms of technology, I learned a lot. With my seniors, I learned a lot. With my peers, I learned a lot. And with an assignment like this, I am learning with most of them. They all have a very unique, good quality. So I like to invite, at least pick one from each, and so that I can be a better person. So I learned a lot in IBM. I started working as a developer. I coded, I tested, and then I moved to business analyst role, and then I moved to technical lead role, and now I'm a team lead and master project manager. So my daily work is like resource management, some part of project management, quality management, and delivery management. So I manage 20 resources back there in India. So some part of the appraisal also needs to be done by me. So overall, till now, it's a very good experience with IBM for me. I really learned a lot. Like whatever I am, I have. You can say I'm born and brought up in IBM only in my professional career. So it is a very good company to work with, and especially for females. And the key factors, I won't say key factors because they all have covered by Steve, Kelly, Masa, and Peter. But still, I have few small things which can contribute to your success. One is you should have very good knowledge in your specialized area, whether it's be software or sales or marketing or education, wherever, which field you are gonna go. You have a good thorough knowledge of your specialized area. You should have an attitude to work, you know. You should not be having that laid back attitude, okay, I'm getting paid for 8 hours, or this is just 5 o'clock, okay, I'm done. If your delivery is not completed, you need to extend, you know. You need to stretch a bit, because it's ultimately it's result which is matters. And you should have an intention to learn every day, any form of learning, you know, and excel, and look beyond the picture, have a vision, have a plan, like where you want to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, and have a problem-solving attitude. Don't be a cribber, okay, this is not working, that is not working, so I can't do that. So try to develop a problem-solving attitude in your professional life, as well as in your personal life. Nobody likes a cribber, you know. If you are very dull, cribbing all the time, people will keep a distance. Okay, this person is always negative. Be result-oriented. It is very, very much important. I know if you're working hard, you have tried hard, but no result. Sometimes it's hard to say, but sometimes it didn't work. It does not work in a professional life. Everybody needs a result, a data, a number, how you have performed. Okay. So be result-oriented. Give some benefit to your project, to your organization in terms of numbers. Like, okay, this is what I have achieved in quantifiable manner. Okay, make things happen. Accomplish for whatever you have been hired for. And one more important, very important thing: don't overpromise and underdeliver. That you can do other way around. You can do other way around. People will be happy, but don't do overpromise and underdeliver. Assess your resources, assess your finances, assess your skills, assess your situation, and then only commit, okay, when you are going to do it. That's the best way of doing things. I will also say increase your capability and skills time to time, because we are in really dynamic world. What you know best today could be outdated in 10 years or say 2 years, next 2 years. So just keep brushing up your skills. And there are situations in an organization, especially at IBM, you might not get work of your own choice, a project of your own choice. You might not like it because there are different job roles, different job profiles, different kind of projects across the world. You have different roles and projects. So try to do best in that situation as well. Because practically, I don't like. That's why I couldn't deliver. This is not at all an excuse in professional work. And if you think other way around, I mean in a different manner, if you think, so if you're doing very good in a thing, in a work which you do not like, then believe me, you will do wonders when you get work of your own choice. So that kind of feeling you have when you do not like the things, but do it in a proper way because you are accountable for that work. If you have you have been assigned to that work, do it, give it your best shot. So that is important. And as I already mentioned, be open for feedback. Feedback will not always be positive. They're just like a gift. So accept them. You don't throw away a gift if it is not nice. So if the feedback is negative, don't throw it away. Try to figure out how it can be, how it can help you. And don't get very emotional with your work. Okay, don't take it too hard if somebody says nice or you really worked very hard and it didn't work out. It's okay. You'll get another chance, you'll get another plan. And regarding balance to personal and professional life, it is very important to give some importance to your professional life as well. Try to make out some time for the things which you like. Develop one thing. If you like traveling, take out some days off and go to some place. If you like reading, go ahead, do that during nights or weekends. If you are playing some sport, please do that. You know, Steve is very good at cycling and he's still continuing. So these
I
are
like it. I wouldn't sound very good. No.
So it's whatever things make you happy, continue with that.
Very.
Yeah. To take out time during weekends or your holidays, day off. It is quite possible that every day you will not get time, but take out some time during weekend or whenever you feel like. So that's all.
So let me add an important thing which is very typical for IBM. If she mentioned she's leading a team, so she's leading a team actually from India, a team in Europe, which is very common inside of IBM, leading almost a virtual team.
I'm leading a virtual team. In my office, I'm a single resource. I have a team of 50 people. All of them are scattered in different locations. So I'm just alone in my office. Yeah, that is very.
And actually, can I add one thing? You said about having a plan, and we talked about this yesterday. That is really important. Always have a plan. Always look 5 years, 10 years, 15 years in the future, and have a goal, have something to aim at. But also be prepared to completely change that. Yeah, because I had no idea I'd end up at IBM. I knew exactly what I wanted to do at my own company, and that helped me do a good job there and to deliver there. Then a different opportunity came, so my plan, threw it away, new plan. Always keep redoing your plan, but it is important to have that plan, because otherwise you don't know where you're going.
Well, thank you very much, and we really are very thankful for you being here and give us your advice, your experience,
Thanks for having
and
us.
history. It's very important, all of what you said to us today. So I think we're going to the next room.
Okay. So one last thing, we have a few little IBM things as well. they're just silly little things, but there's a few there. So I'll put you in the middle. You help yourselves to some little IBM gifts.
Nice to meet you.
That's a torch, by the way.